brief session there. So as we discussed yesterday also, today now we'll be having this practice session. So basically here what we'll be doing is that, like yesterday you saw everything on a slide, what's happening, and it was shown briefly on Stata also. So today we'll be practicing whatever was shown yesterday together, so that you have a like hands-on experience on how to like start with Stata. So basically, before proceeding, I hope that all of you have already installed Stata. And without like waiting further, let's start. So yeah, hope my screen is visible. Okay. So okay, so let's start. So basically, I already have a Stata open, but since I already promised we'll be starting from the start, so I will close this and we'll start from the scratch. So basically, the first thing that we need to do is that we'll be opening the Stata software. So please go ahead and click on the Stata icon, and or wherever you have saved it, may it be it on the desktop or on the taskbar. You can click and open it. So yeah, so whenever you open the screen, you can see here that it starts with basically the basic information of which version of Stata and other you are using. Then as yesterday Rashmi showed, on the left you have the history panel. On the right, there is the variables panel where you have the dataset loaded. The variable will be shown there. And then you have the properties panel also. And above there is the menu bar. So this is basically the basic layout of Stata. So the first thing that we did yesterday after opening Stata is that we verified our working directory, right? So that was done using the command pwd. So pwd is basically short form for print working directory. So this basically shows the file, the folder that we're currently working in. So like it's different for me because in this laptop my username is used. It will be different for yours. So now let's have a common place of where like we keep all of files, right? So let's say I open my
Ronak, your sound is breaking in between.
computer. So go ahead and open the documents and okay.
Sorry, Ronak, your
So
sound
now
is
what's happened is that, so now this is Stata. Now it's as you can see, by default it opens on the my documents folder, and now for okay, it's audible now.
yes, it's audible.
Yeah, yeah, you can hear me now. Okay, okay. Yeah, Bia, please, if you face any problems regarding the audio, do open your mic and tell me. So, so now as I was saying, now to let Stata know like on which folder we're supposed to be working. So for that, since we have already made this folder here, you see on the address bar, you just click on it, and once you click, the full path address of this folder gets displayed. So cd command. So the cd command in the command bar is the change directory command. So now when you use this, this will tell Stata that yeah, Stata, you load this folder here and will start working from here. So after typing cd,
Um, Sorry, Ronak, for interrupting in between.
you give two inverted commas, and between that you put the folder address. Okay, and you press enter, and Stata run this command. So again, to verify, when you type pwd again,
Your voice is breaking
yeah.
every time. Can you just use the earphone or something, because we are unable to listen it. It's breaking in between.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, sure.
You can just uh, uh, yeah, I can. You can just use the earphone or something, or you can just
Yeah.
turn off your video also. Yeah, someone has told in the chat. Yeah, there's a network issue.
So hope I'm audible now. Hello.
Yes, you are audible now. You can just turn off your video if you want. There is internet issue, I think. So
Okay,
you
okay.
can start with over with from starting again, because we were unable to listen from the starting yet.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, sure. I will start from the beginning
Okay,
only.
okay, no problem.
Um, Okay. So yeah, let's start. So basically, like, so I have the Stata open again. So let me close it and like start everything again. So yeah, we'll start with a clean slate again. So basically, I open the Stata software. So in this case, like you can see that when it opens with a blank slate. At the start, it just shows the Stata, the version details, and everything. And all the menu items, the history panel, other variable panels, and properties panels are getting displayed, right? So from here, the first thing that we need to do is we need to check which directory is this working on. So for that, we need to type the pwd command, which is short form for print working directory. So when we type pwd, you see that it shows that currently Stata is working on the C users documents. So now uh, so now what happens here is that we have to tell Stata which document, which folder, or which directory it should work on. So for that, I open the documents. I open the documents window again and file explorer. Documents. Let's say I have a folder here called Day to Practice, right? So you can also go ahead and create your own folder in the My Documents window. So once I go to this folder, so here you will see that on the top, we have the address bar getting displayed here. So we need the address, file address of this directory. So when you click on the address bar, once the full path address is getting displayed. So I will click on copy, and this is in our clipboard already. So now we'll go back to Stata. In Stata, I will put the command cd. CD is short form for change directory because we want to change our working directory here. So now we'll put the inverted commas, and between them I will put the full address of that folder. So once I put it and I press enter, so now you see this is the this is the directory that Stata will be working on from now on in this session. And just to verify, we'll run the command pwd again. So now it shows that the working directory has changed, right? So the first step is done. So now let's go ahead and check like if we have any files in this directory, right? So we'll place the dir command for that. When you press and enter the DDR command line, we can see that it's currently empty because we don't have any file to work with. So basically now we need a data set. So for the data set, yesterday we already shared the auto.DTA data. So we'll go ahead and copy it here. Already have it open in our host folder, and I believe it has already been shared with you. So I will just go ahead, I will copy this and I will place it in our practice folder. Okay. Now for those who do not have the auto DTA, this is a system data set that is already there in Stata. So if you write the command sys use auto, the Stata will automatically load the data set in Stata. And now for those who have already have the data, so you can go ahead and start with loading the data using the use command. So as we are told yesterday, whenever we have a Stata data set that ends with the extension, you can see here .dta. So this is basically a DTA file. So here to open it, you have to simply write the command use auto.dta, clear. So since we are already working on the working directory here, and the data set is already there in the working directory, so basically you just need to tell Stata that Stata use this data set, and when you type the command, the option clear, which means that any other previous data set in it will automatically get deleted from Stata and it will start fresh. So when I type this command, you see the same data set is being loaded here. Okay. So now we have
Uh,
generated.
Sorry, Ronak, if
Yeah.
we are using this sysuse auto command to get the
Yeah.
data set, so
Mhm.
again we can use the same command that you have used or use auto.dta clear.
Yeah,
Or
like use the DTS generally you use whenever like you have the data already. So you can like here since you already use CCU, so it's not required since data is already loaded.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt in between. I would like to say that if you have any questions, then you can raise your hand or you can ask in the chat. I am there for you, and there will be a Q&A session. So if you have any past queries with you, then we will clear all those things. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Rashmi. So okay. So now, so the next step is like we have checked the working directory, we have loaded our data and status. So now, before going further, we need to start a log file. So we start logging whatever tasks we are using it here. So to open a log file, you can go to the file menu in the menu bar. Okay, and in there you will see that there is an option called log, and after going to log, you click on begin. So when you do these steps, the following window comes up. So here it's already pointing to a predefined window. I will go back. Um, so we'll go to the window, our working directory that's already there. So here you can see I will just give a file name, which maybe something called day to practice. And once I do this, see in the results window, you will see this output getting displayed log using, and it will show the full address of the log file. Day to practice.essential log file has been created. So our log file, as we already told yesterday, it will be in an extension .essential or .log. So in this case, it's by default creating a .essential file. And it also shows the time and date whenever it was opened. So, okay, now our log file is loaded. So now what we did need to do is that we will try, till now we have been using the command line, but these commands are not getting stored anywhere, like these steps are not getting stored anywhere. So yesterday for the sake of reproducibility, so that whenever you do a task, you don't have to repeat it every time. We'll open a do file here so that things become easier for us. For that, again, whenever we open a new file, we always have to go to the file menu in the menu bar. So here we'll go to the file, we'll click on do, and when we go there, we can see that this again opens this our do file folder. So let's say for the do file also, I name it as day to practice. So it will say that there is no do file here. Okay. So what will happen is that now we have to create basically a do file first. So for that, as we told yesterday, we have to type the command do edit in the command line. So whenever you type it, the do edit command in the command line, a blank do file always opens. And from here you can start. So I already have a do file with me. So I will open it.
So Ronak, can I just ask a question, please?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So just a small clarification that
Mhm.
when you have written here, log using so and so do
Yeah.
file.
Mhm, mhm.
So that is a way of telling Stata that this is the log file, this is the do file that I would be working with, and then then we open the same do file, right? That's what you are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So whenever we're writing log using, this tells Stata that everything that is appearing in the results window from now on, you log it in this file, the day2 practice.smcl file. And after that, we need to open the do file. So do file is where we are writing our commands on. So we open the do edit, type the do edit command, and it opens a blank do file here. So this is the do file window. So and from here we can write our Stata commands from now on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now I already have a do file. So here, so as you can see, I've already like written commands here from the start only. So we'll go through each of the commands and see that what happens. So this is for your sake that you can you can clearly see here for what steps we have to do, and I will just tell you like what we do next every time. Okay. So whenever this do file is open, so till now what we've done is we have set up a working directory, we've loaded the data, our log file is there, and I also opened a do file, right? So now we have to go, we need to explore the data. So we need to see that before start working with the data, we need to know what the data set contains, what are the variables there. So for that briefly, we can select the browse command here. Now in Stata, every command that you see can also be abbreviated. Like either you can type the whole browse command or you can type br command only. So in your do file, go ahead and write the browse command, browse, and you select the whole command. And in your keyboard, you press Control plus D together. So that's the first command you ran, and first command after opening the do file. So now what's happening is that whenever you select that command and press Control plus D, you see a message appears on the result window that Stata ran this operation do with a folder address bar, and the command browse was ran. So whenever you run the browse command, it opens this data editor window, which automatically shows you see the variables that are there in the data and the corresponding observations under those variables. So in Stata, as Rashmi already said yesterday, that you work with only one data set at one time. And there are certain rules for how your dataset should be. Like this is a simple tidy dataset. So we have a word called tidy dataset in data science. So that basically means that one column and one row corresponds to a single observation. So here basically you see that in this whole automobile data set, nowhere you can see that one variable, yeah, like one particular cell corresponds to like corresponds to two variables at a time or two rows at a time. So basically one cell will only correspond to one row and one column in this case. So here we already have a tidy dataset loaded. Okay. So we can see that where variables make, and on the right you can see the variable, its label and type and format, everything is given. So first variable is make variable, which gives the make and model of this particular automobile, and it's a variable of type string. So for now we just see the variable name and label. Variable type will come later today only. So then there is a variable called price, which shows the price for that automobile, like that. So next we again go back to our do file, and we what we are seeing is that we are just typing browse and it opens a spreadsheet window kind of thing where you can see the whole data. You can also do that, go ahead and check that in the Stata command window only. So for that we have a command called list. So you can see, go ahead and type list in the do file, and when you again select it, press Ctrl plus D together, and you will see that the list commands gets run. So what the list command does is that it will show you your data set again, but this time it will show you in the Stata results window. So here you can see that we type the list command, and the data set that you just saw in the data editor window, the same one, it's automatically getting now displayed in the Stata results window. So the list command is useful, whenever you want to quickly check what are some particular values in your data set, like that. So for that, what we do is that, let's say we want to see the first three observations in our data set. So we'll just go ahead and type the list in space 1 by 3. So what this will do is that this command, so Stata commands are like plain English. So whenever you type it, it will feel as if you are telling the Stata in English to do that command. You are like literally do the thing that you are saying. So basically you are saying Stata list in the data set that's already loaded, the first to third observation. So for that, we type list in 1, 2, 3, and we'll again press Ctrl plus D. And this time you see that in the results window, it displays the first three observations in our data set. So now this is here, like till now we have explored our data set and saw what observations are there, uh, like, and we can see in the first three observations kind of thing. Now we go ahead and we check the whole data set type. So for that, we use the describe command to see a dataset summary. So you can write the describe command, and when you press Control plus D,
Hi, Ronak.
yeah,
Sorry to disturb, but can we question in between, or you'll take all the questions at the end?
yeah, I think we'll take all the questions like in 10-15 minute intervals.
Okay, so should I just put it in the chat and somebody can tally it, or I have to wait for 15 minutes?
Yeah, right now since like we are already listening, you can go ahead and tell.
I just wanted to ask in the list section, if I have like 10-15 variables, can I list like only 3 columns out of the 15? Is that an option?
Yeah, yeah, you can obviously do that. Like,
Yeah, how can we do that? Like
yeah,
1 or 2 rows you are saying, but how can we do like 2-3 columns?
so we'll eventually come to this. Don't worry. So for now, let me tell you that. So whenever you type the any command in Stata, no, so like this data exploratory commands in specific. So after that, you can go ahead and type the variable name. So let's say you want to see three variables, like you want to see the make, model of the car, the price, and the miles per gallon, the mileage. So whenever you type the list now, so that you type make,
Okay, okay. I just typed the
Right of the
variable
command.
and then
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
variable names with a space. And you type list in 1 by 3. And here you go. The first three observations for the three variables are getting displayed.
Okay,
Ronak,
thank you.
one more question I have.
Yeah.
When you use the list command, the
Mm-hmm.
way the output turns up in your Stata window is that
Mm-hmm.
you are getting blocks of certain automobile makes, right? But
Yeah.
in my case, in my window, probably that could be a version difference. I'm
Uh-huh.
getting each one as separately. So like
Okay.
AMC Concord as one, then as one block, then AMC Pacer as the second block. So is there
Mm-hmm.
something specific or is just a version difference?
Yeah, that may be a version difference
Okay,
because like after Stata 16, a lot of changes were made to the Stata interface.
okay,
So we will find similarities in version 17 and 18, and like 14, 15, 16 is similar. Then 17, 18 is similar, and then 19 and after is a different thing. So
okay,
it's like that.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, since we're already taking questions, I see a raised hand by Utpal Nath also. So Utpal Nath, please unmute and tell, like, is there anything you want to know? Mr. Utpal Nath, are you there? Okay, maybe he's not there. I see a raised hand from Miss Shrestha Bharti. Yeah, please go ahead, Shrestha.
Yeah, hi. My question actually is directed to Shantanu, and I typed it
Mhm.
out right in the beginning of the class that the
Mhm.
extension that was shared to us yesterday was a
Mhm.
.exe file, and it does not work on a MacBook. And I think it's a
Okay.
.dmg that works on MacBook, so I don't know like how to deal with this.
Hmm.
I mean, it
Um,
makes no sense if I can run it in the parallel while you're teaching us, right? Because it's a
uh,
useless exercise.
hmm. Shantanu, like, can you clarify this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, Shrestha, I missed your question in the start. Since it's a Mac version, I will check once and will try to give you a version that works with your system. We'll try to resolve it as soon as possible. Till then, you can work with the recordings. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, okay, sure. Like whenever you resolve it, it'll be great because I think some of us are using a MacBook and it's really weird to not be able to run the program as they're teaching it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for raising that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Thank you for raising this, Shrestha. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
keep it in mind. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's move ahead. Yeah, I think Mr. Utpal is here. Yeah, Mr. Utpal, go ahead. Mr. Utpal, let's move on with the class. So you type your query in the chat box, and our team will like try to answer it and get back to you soon. Okay. So yeah. So till now, what we're doing is that we're we have basically run the data set and we started exploring it. So right now we're exploring the observations. Now we're getting to see a whole overview of the data set. So that can be done using the describe command, or you can type D in short. So you press Control plus D. And here, see this, the describe command basically gives a short overview of the whole data set. So at the start, it will give just the data summary that this particular data set name is auto.DTA. What is the number of observations in this data set? What are the number of variables in it? This has 12 variables. And again, it shows that when this what like when this data set was created. So this data set was created on 19th March, like that. Now, after that, we get a table in the results window. In the table, we see what is the variable name, the variable type, the display format, and whether the variable has any value label attached to it, and what is the variable label of the data set. So basically, the variable label is a brief description that we put in Stata, so that describes the variable. I mean, imagine if you open a data set and there is only variables given, and you don't know what each variable means, right? So that would be a bummer. So in this case, the label is given so that you can just check the label corresponding to a variable and understand like what that variable means. So here you can see the make variable as a label, make and model. So that means that this variable, since this is an automobile data set, that variable would say now that what is the make and model of a particular car. So it's like that. Now on the below you can see it says sorted by foreign. So this is like an important info we have. So this actually says that this data set is actually sorted by the values in the foreign variable. Okay. So basically what this means is that if we go in the data set again, so you can see that this foreign variable, at first everything comes as domestic. From the first to the 51st, 52nd observation, everything comes shows as domestic, and then the rest of the cars details are from their foreign manufacturing or foreign brands. The car origin is a foreign make. So whenever you see this information sorted by, this means that this dataset has been sorted by the values. So first of all, since domestic comes alphabetically first, so you will see this details of domestic cars first. And after that, you will see details of foreign cars, which starts from the 52nd to the 74th observation. So now, so whenever you have this data set, you see this describe commands gives you like a brief overview of what this data set is. So now let's say in some cases, you don't want to see all this detailing. This is too much. So you can just go ahead and type in the describe comma short command. So basically this tells that's data to describe this data set that I already have, but in short. So whenever you run this command, you see the same details get displayed, but this time only the dataset details are there. The variable details are not there. So here, this is useful when you write, I want a quick overview of how many variables are in the data, how many observations like that. Now, after that, you can see that in our original, the full describe command, you can see that there is something called a value label also. So what value label basically means is that this foreign variable, whenever we enter data sometimes, we mainly in like the quantitative data. So we have entered data in one or two. So which would actually mean that one means foreign, one means domestic, two means foreign, like that. So during data entry, to speed up the data entry process, this technique is adopted that you just write one or two, and a code is attached or a note is attached with the questionnaire that whenever you type one in this variable foreign, that means it should be a domestic car, like that. So in Stata also, whenever you give the data, yeah, the entry person doing the entry can write one or two, but we can like we attached a variable label, we can also attach a value label. So the value label will tell what the values 1, 2 mean. It will attach a label to those values. So if we want to, let's say, check the label of this particular value label attached to the data. So we can go to the describe command and we can see that the variable foreign here has a value label attached. And that value label also is given a name, the origin. It's called as origin here for this particular variable. So we just go ahead and type the command label list origin. So this will tell Stata that Stata, you go ahead, you list the label called origin. And when you type it, you can see that, yeah, for sure, this foreign variable was entered in 0, 1 values. And whenever there is a value 0, it means domestic and 1 means foreign. So till now, like we have explored the data set, we've seen what all stuff is there in it. Now next we come and see that sometimes, here we are getting an overview of the data. Sometimes data may be missing also. This happens many times when you go to the field during data collection, that it's not always possible to collect 100% data, right? For sure, there may be missing values also. So to get a detail of, what missing values are in a data, in this case, you can type the command codebook. So what codebook does is that codebook generates a detailed output in the results window where it gives like all all details that you would need to understand what a variable means. So when you go ahead and type the command codebook, here you can see that for all the variables in our data set, Stata is giving an output for each variable. So here you can see that for the first variable make it's again showing the value label, the variable label. Then it's showing the type of the data set, the number of unique values in the data. And here you can just see that it shows data for missing. So missing basically shows how many missing values are in this data. So here it's showing that there are 0 missing values in this data out of the total 74 observations. And then again, it shows in examples what are some values in the data already. So now when we scroll it, go ahead, and we see that our variable called REP78 has, which is the repair record of the car during 1978. That was a missing value for 5 cars, right? So now let's check it what the missing values were there. So to check the dataset, we again type browse. We can go to the variable REP78. So whenever you type REP78, it opens the whole data in the data editor window. Now let's say you want to check only the data of the REP78 variable. So that time you type browse and then you give the variable name after browse. So when you type REP78, this time it just opens this data set, the variable for the data for only REP78 variable. So here you can see that the 45th observation, the 51st observations have missing values, and its data missing values are denoted with dot. Either it's denoted with dot, or it can be denoted with dot A, dot B, like that. So in this case, in our data set, for now, it's just denoted with dot. Okay, so that means there is no value here. So next we can see is that next we come to the concept of packages also. So like Rashmi said yesterday in during the last parts of the course, we studied that in Stata you can install packages. So what packages is that whenever you open the Stata, the first time you open it, it has the necessary, I'll say the necessary packages loaded already, or the necessary commands that's already there. So that would help you get through 80% of the work that comes in your like daily data analysis work daily. Okay. So other than that, sometimes you need some extra packages that is like not necessary, but if it's there, it makes your work smoother. So for that, the beauty of Stata is that here the Stata users oftentimes they develop custom or user written packages, and that you can install directly into the Stata software. So let's say like in this case of missing value, you can see that to identify a missing value, like it's so tedious. I mean, let's say this is a small data set with just 12 variables. If you had a data set with 100 variables and you are supposed to identify, so you would have to type code books, scroll through each of the 100 variables and see how many like missing values are there, how many variables has missing values. So I mean, Stata does not have a specific command for that. So maybe you can go ahead and install a specific command. So I know that there's a package called nmissing. So we can install that. And whenever you need to install a Stata command, you always need to have active network connection in your computer. So if you have a network connection, go ahead and type ssc install in the command window, and after that write the command name. So in this case, the command name is nmissing. So whenever you write nmissing, so Stata will go ahead. So first it will display a message. It will first check that nmissing, the command is actually there in the Stata directory, in the Stata softwares directory, and the command nmissing is not already installed in our software. So here it checked, and in my case the command nmissing is already there. So here it's saying that all files are already there and it's up to date. So now in your computer it would have installed, in the message would have been different, it would have installed the nmissing command. Okay, so after the nmissing command is loaded, you can go ahead and type the command nmissing, and see when you type it, it shows that there is no detail, like it just shows like the specific thing that you want, that the REP78 variable has 5 observations missing. Okay, so now with this we come to the end of this first part of this hands-on session. So okay, I will go ahead and check the comments and see if you have any queries. So I see a raised hand from Mr. Prathamesh. Mr. Prathamesh, please unmute yourself and
Do we have to write that command in do file?
which one?
Let's say install.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can write it in the do file. Like as you can see, I have already written it in my do file. So basically, look, the do file it's good for you. Like since I already have this do file, you can see I have already run this command previously, right? So whenever I open it again, I can simply go ahead and run this command again. So it's for you. Like the do file is specifically to help you. So actually, what happens is that Prathamesh, whenever we do data analysis, now we have a saying that our memory is our worst enemy. So we cannot just rely on our memory. So whenever we have this do file, whatever command we write in the do file, so it's like we are maintaining a notebook where we are writing all the commands we run during the session. So you can go ahead, you can write the commands in the do file also, and in future when you open it, you will know, okay, so when I was doing this work, I installed the nmissing command, like that. Okay. Okay, so there are no further questions. So let's get back. Right. So also let me give you an extra tip here. So a question might come to your mind, like how do we know that we even have a command called nmissing, like that. So for that, like what you can do is that either you can type up this data has a command called ssc new. So when you type the command ssc space new in your command tab and you press the enter, so you can see it will open a command, it will open a window here, and it will show that what modules were created or what new commands were there in Stata. So it gives a list of old commands, and it shows that there's a command called package called casual spline. You can just click it, and then you will see that there is a detail that what this casual spline command means, and what is the description of this command and the authors of code, like that. And here if you just click install, so this same command will get installed here. Now the other thing that is that it's not always possible for you to go through this whole list. You see that there are so many commands here. So you can just go to Google and plain like ask Google that is there a package in Stata that allows me to check missing variables in it. and Google will say that yes, it is, and then it will tell that this is the command, and you can go ahead and install that also. So like these are two good ways you can find out like what new commands are there, and that can already make your work easier. So it's generally it says that if there is a problem that that's like picking you, you should go ahead and search in Google first, because someone somewhere in this world may have already faced it and may have found a solution to it and posted it as a command. So yeah, that's an exciting thing. Now till now, let's move forward. So till now, what we have done is that we have seen a lot of commands. We have explored the data. Now we understand that what these commands mean. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
After running the missing command, I am getting R100, and it is
Uh,
mentioning VAR
yeah.
list required.
So did you type missing or did you type n missing?
Missing.
No, Prathamesh, you have to type n missing. So
Okay.
as you can see in the do file, no? So after you install the command n missing, the package in missing, you have to type the command n missing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that worked, right? Okay. So let's go ahead. So now let's go to the second part where you just see like what this data commands are, what do they mean. So when you like say the word command, it means that you are basically giving a set of instructions to someone so that they follow that. So commands in state are also like that only. So basically whenever we write or whenever we tell this command, this let's say it's n missing or browse. So basically the programmers and engineers of Stata has already prepared a set of instructions, low level instructions for the computer, and that is all packaged, or that is all like packed in this neat box called browse. So basically, whenever you tell Stata that you type a command called browse, so those instructions get run in the background, and it tells Stata to run those instructions that are in the browse command, basically. So a command, the browse name is here more like an envelope that contains all the instructions in that command. Okay. So now this data commands, everything they follow a standard syntax, right? So what happens is that, let's say, you know, this command I'm typing here browse, okay? So browse is just the basic command, but then again to check the details of a particular variable, I type browse space rep78. So which means that in Stata, after the command, you can type the variable name and it will show details for that particular variable. So like that, the basic format of any syntax in Stata is that you type the command name, then you type the variables that that command would apply to. Then there are options like if. So whenever you say if means it will work for that particular observation. In means it will show details of particular observations. Then you can apply wait, and there after you give a comma, there are options. So option basically means what additional thing that commands can do. So that is like basically, let's say you go to a restaurant, you put a order that you want to order a cup of coffee. So that is your basic command. But whenever you say that along with the cup of coffee, I want it to be extra sweet, or extra sweet, with a slight hint of milk, and the milk should be gluten free. So that becomes option. So you are giving a along with the command, you're giving specific options that the barista should follow. So in Stata also, you can give commands in the same way. So let's see, like So these options, commands, and these are like optional. Not every command will Stata will have those. So you need to know like which command has what options, and a good way to do that is the help command. So whenever like you use a command and you are in doubt what that command means. So let's say here we are using the browse command. So you can go ahead and type help, give a space and type the command name and you just run it. So whenever you do that, you see that this help, after running that command, the browse help, it opens this help window, the viewer window, and it shows that what that command means. So we can go ahead and type that for the describe command also. Let's see, want to know what the describe command does. So you can go ahead and type help describe and it opens the help window. And you can already see that what that commands mean. So here in the describe command, you can see that the syntax or the format is given. So here you can see that this describe command briefly it says that describe the data in memory. After describe, you can give the variable list, and after comma, you can give memory options. So there are options, and in between, you can see that it shows that what those options are. So it will give you a list of options that you can give. So whether you want the description to be simple, short, like that. So you can see that earlier we already used the described comma short command. So the short was an option, and you told Stata to give only short description of the data set, like that. So you can go ahead and see some more help files also. Let's say we have a help file for the list command also that we use. So you can see, so there is a difference. You see that not every command has every option. Like in describe command, you cannot give a if option or a in option because that is not there. It's not shown here. But in list command, when you say there is a in option, there is a if option. So you can like you can check the help file and you can find out what options and what extra like I would say customizing that you can do with that command to get at the information, the cherry pick information that you need. Yeah. So here you can see that this list commands have so many options, and so like we had a query here already that show that like to asking that the divider lines that appear, they like sometimes they appear for each observation, sometimes they appear for other like for different after every 5 records like that. So here you can see that in the option, see there is an option called separator, and if you give the separator option, it will put show the separator line accordingly. So after we see this, we can go ahead, we can type list. Let's say we want to see like list in the first 10 observation, and in the up in the separator option, in the option we give the separator option, and in within brackets we type 1. So you see that now whenever this output is given, so since we customized our command, so now it's displaying the first 10 observations in the data set. And when you give the separator 1, it means that it displays a line after every observation. If you want, you can customize it also. So you can just click on the history window. When you click on the history window, see this command automatically appears on your command line. So whenever you have typed a command already in the command line and you click on it in the history window, that commands automatically like fetched by Stata in the command line. So you need not type it again. That saves a lot of time. So let's say I want the separator to appear after every 5 observations. So now when I change the command, you see the separator line is now after every 5 observations. So you see that in Stata, the whole thing depends on how well you know your commands, how well you know what each command does, and how you can customize them. When you know that, you can arrive or you can cherry pick your data. So now let's look at other options. So now first we learn how to find out what available options are there and how can we customize a command to arrive at the particular information that we need, right? So next we see that like we explore this more. So what each option does. Okay. So let's say we need to check like we need to check that the observations that are there when the car is of foreign make. So basically earlier we showed that the foreign variable has two values 0 and 1 where 0 means domestic, 1 means foreign. So now we need to find out the details of the car's make and the car's type if the car is foreign. So for that we type the command, we tell the Stata you list in our data set the variables make and foreign only if the value of foreign is 1. 1 means the car is foreign. So whenever you go ahead, you type that command, you see that now the Stata lists only those cars in the results window, which is a foreign make. So you can customize this command also further, like so what happens is that let's say you want to list all the cars and you want the separator to come after a variable, like after it crosses a particular variable. So here we can type the command make list make or in the variable names. And in the separator, instead of giving a number, you can give the variable name foreign. Separator is okay.
So, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Actually, when we add separator one, what does actually this command does?
So whenever giving the option separator one, so it gives a separator line after every observation. Like after each one observation, it gives a separator line.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead. So you can see that when we gave this option, there was an error. Okay. So now the thing is that this command, something we incorrectly specified here that happened this command. So what happened is that we gave a variable name instead of a number here. So this separator option, it will always take a number. Okay. So these things also will find out. So you can see that in the option it's given separator. In bracket it gives a hashtag. Hashtag means number. So what will happen is that this separator option will always expect a number. So now let's say we change the option to save by and see what happens. So whenever now we change the option and you can see that this command list make foreign, it displays the variables make and foreign and it enters a separate line after there is a change in the value of the foreign variable. So basically foreign had two values, domestic and foreign. So you can see after domestic there is a separator line. So basically the save by option it's entering a line after this the foreign value it changes. Okay. So okay. So now let's get to know what each option does, right? So I already explained you the use of the if option. We have seen the use of the in option also. So the in is basically used to load details for only those particular observations, like 1, 2, 3, like that. Now we see that there are other conditions also. So in if conditions, we have these operators like, so in case when we ran list make foreign, if foreign equals to 1. So what this means is that this states that Stata, you run the list command, show the make and foreign variables only if the foreign value is equals to 1 for all those variables. So the equals to is basically a operator. It's a special operator which tells Stata that, Stata go ahead and only check these values and show out the output for those values only. So likewise, since you already saw the details for foreign cars, let's see if we want to see the details for domestic car. So in that case, you set as data, list the variables make and foreign if the value of foreign variable is domestic, which is 0. So we list here if foreign equals to 0. So when we run that command, you can see that now it's displaying the values of only those cars which are of domestic make. So this equals to, they are in the conditional they are called conditional operators. Now let's say that we don't want, like we have seen, like what to tell Stata to follow when it should exactly be that value. Now what if you want to tell Stata it should not exactly be that value? So for that we use the operator exclamation mark and not equal, exclamation mark and equal to. It means this is not equal to this value. So basically what we tell Stata is Stata go ahead and list the make and foreign values of cars which are not of domestic make, or which where the make is not domestic. So basically what this means is that since our foreign values has just two values, domestic and foreign, so this command means that Stata will list only the foreign cars. Okay, so ideally it should do that. So let's find out what it's doing. So as we see that whenever you write this, see, it's now displaying only the details of cars which are of foreign make. So likewise, there are other operators also, operators like where you want to tell Stata show the details of, like summarize this data set or show the details uh, whenever the mileage MPG value, miles per gallon value, is greater than 25. So whenever you go ahead and you run this command, so you can see that summarize command, basically it's displaying summary values for observations or miles per gallon greater than 25. Or for sake of simplicity, we can again go to our list command as we are doing. So we go to the list command, we'll type the make, foreign, and this time the MPG values, the MPG also. So when you come out, type list, make foreign MPG, and we type if MPG greater than 25. So what this command will do, this command will display these three variables if the miles per gallon value is greater than 25. So when you run this command, you see that it's displaying only the details of car for those variables where the MPG value is greater than 25. So you can see that none of the like values are less than 25. It's always greater than 25. So likewise, there is a less than operator also. So I will just copy this here. I will just write MPG less than. So you can see that now it's displaying all cars where the value is less than 25. So now in this operator, the less than operator, the greater than operator, what happens is that it does not list, you see the value, it does not contain the value 25 itself. So I mean, what if in our cars, there were cars with MPG values, which is equals to 25. So in this case, there are no cars with MPG value 25. So what if there are cars with MPG value, let's say 23? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to put an if option now. If MPG value equals to 23. So you can see that we have three cars where the MPG value is equals to 23. Yeah. Now when I put this MPG value just less than 23, it will display cars with values less than 23. But let's say in some cases we want to know like how many cars are there where the value is less than equals to 23. So for that we just type in the operator, we just type the operator less than equals to 23, and this will display cars where the values are less than equals to 23. So you can see that here now the cars with value 23 are also getting displayed. So all these operators and all like whatever operators is there, what can we do? So we have already provided the details of that in our like course notes also. So later when you go through that, you can find out like what operators are there. So there is a less than of we have already discussed everything. Like one operator is there which is greater than equal to. So it will work the same way. Now there is a command called count also, you can see like whenever you write count if less than equals to 190. So the count command basically it counts the number of observations for you. So when you run this command, it will tell me the number of cars where the length is less than 190. So whenever you run this, it will show that there are 36 counts that are less than equals to 190. Now another thing that you can do is that you can also go ahead and you can combine, like you can have various combinations of this operator, right? So for that you have to use operators and or. So what basically this means is that, so let's say you go to your data set and you want to find out that we saw that you want to find out how many cars are there between mileage 23 and 25. So you go to a showroom like and you want to find out how many cars are there that have mileage more than 23 and less than 25. You want to have a list of those cars. So for that you need to combine operators. So what you will do is that you go ahead, you list the make of the car, list and give the make for an MPG. When it is this data, you want to see the number of cars that are greater than equals to 23 and MPG mileage less than equals to 25. So see now Stata will list those cars which have a mileage lying between 23 and 25. Now there is another operator called OR operator also. So in place of OR, when you write in place of AND, when you write OR, what this means is that now Stata will list all cars that are greater than 23 and that are also less than 25. So whenever you write AND, so these two if conditions, they get operated together. And whenever you write OR, the two if conditions, they get operated separately. So whenever you give AND, it will tell Stata that Stata search cars between greater than 23 and between 25. Now whenever you give this operator, the OR operator, it will say that Stata search those cars which have a mileage greater than 23 equals to 23 or less than equals to 25. So whenever you write this, you can see that it's basically displaying the whole data set, you know. So it's basically, so whenever you type this, you see all there are certain cars that will be above 23 and there will be cars that are below 25. So this is basically like you combine operators and you use them. So the OR operator, basically in this case you might be thinking, but if this is basically giving the whole data set, then what is the use of this operator, I mean. So this operator comes in handy when you have to, see like you want to see like specific values. So let's say you want to see cars with a lower mileage value and a higher mileage value. You type list make for an MPG if you want to see cars where the mileage is, let's say, 17, or you want to see only those cars where the mileage is, let's say, 25. So now you see the Stata is displaying those cars, only those cars which have value, which have like mileage 17 or 25. So like all the logical operators, all these are certain use cases. And when you explore the datasets more, when you work with datasets further, you will see that like they have their specific perks. Now, sometimes what we tend to do is that in case of the REP78 variable, let's say, so the repair record variable. So let's say we want to see a car with a repair record greater than 3. So for that, we type the command list make REP78 the variables if REP78 is greater than 3. So let's go ahead and type this command. So here you can see that whenever this command is run, here you can.
Rana, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this greater than thing is not working. It's giving me R198 error. It's saying that greater than does not exist. So am I making some
Okay.
mistake?
So like, can you copy paste the exact command in the chat?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
yeah.
I've sent it.
Yeah, checking that. Hmm. Yeah, you see, like, what's happening here, I suppose, is that this greater than equals to sign, like, so it is how to recognize that. So if I type it myself here,
Oh, I think
call
somebody has written if is missing.
the greater than equals to, yeah, the if operator is there, is not there. So type please if mpg equals to 23, it works. Yeah, so here the if operator is not there. So what happens is that when you don't give a operator here, na, the if operator or maybe the in operator, so the Stata considers greater than equals to 23 as a separate variable name.
Okay.
So that's why it's saying that this invalid name means it searches this variable and this variable is not there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're here like we're discussing what happens, when we give this command here. So when we give the command list make REP78, if the repair record 78 is above 3. So you can see that it's stating the details of those cars where repair record is more than 3. But one strange thing that you can observe is that it's also showing this dot, which are the missing values, right? So whenever you are saying Stata shows the repair record of cars that are greater than 3, so it should not show us those values, no, which is missing, because that means that there is no value. So I mean, when I first used this data, so I was also a bit curious, like how come this happens? So what happens is that, so like each command, each software is like programming language follows a particular set of rules that it's based upon, and these special characters like dot or missing in Stata have special meaning. So what in Stata, whenever we enter a missing value, it means that this dot is a number equals to infinity, equals to plus infinity. That is, it is a very huge positive number. That's what Stata assigns to this meaning. That's the meaning that Stata assigns to this dot operator in its system, in its background. That's how it's programmed. So whenever you say that show me the repair records greater than 3, it the dot values automatically comes up because it's a positive number, a huge positive number, and that is obviously greater than 3. So that's why this dot values they show up. So like to avoid such mistakes, like let's say this would make a mistake when you like put like want to arrive at specific conditions or specific data points. So for that, when like if you know that your variable has missing values, you can add an extra condition there that will tell Stata that yeah, show me cars with record above 3, but also repair record where it's less than, where it's less than missing, or you can also write where it's not equals to missing. So here when you write this command list make rep 78, if rep 78 is greater than 3 and it's less than the missing value. So when you type it, now you see the missing values are not getting displayed. So whenever you use conditionals, you will also find that the same thing can be done in multiple ways also. So if I want to do the same thing, you can also like list make a rep78 variable if rep78 greater than 3 and if rep78 is not equals to missing. So whenever you say this, so this also says that display only those data where this value is greater than 3 and it's not missing. So this also does the same thing, it displays the same variable. So yeah, so each command has multiple, like each stuff that you want to do has multiple ways that can be done. Now let's come to options again. Options, I've already told you that the options are like specific instruction that you would give with the coffee example. If you go to a cafe and you want like specific instructions on your coffee you want to give, those instructions that you give that are synonymous to in options in Stata. So now let's say that whenever we are displaying the list command, we display the list make and foreign command here. So what this is doing is that you already know by now that this command is displaying the make and foreign variable in the Stata results window. So now you see that this foreign, in the foreign variable is showing the value labels. But as I already told you, like when you are entering the data, we have entered data 0 and 1. Where 0 means domestic and 1 means foreign. So if you want to see like what is the corresponding law, what is this the value inside this label. So you can give an option called list make foreign, comma, no label. So when you give the no label option, it will tell Stata that list the make and foreign variables. But if any of those variables has a value label, do not display that label. So we run it and you can see that yeah, now for sure the value labels are not getting displayed. So we have got a brief overview of what options do. There are other commands also. You can go ahead and you can check those. We'll be sharing the do files with you at the end of the course. So you can also go ahead and run those and see for yourself like what happens. You can experiment with it. Like I am not only running the commands that are there in the do file. Like I am during the course I'm also running like other things for your clarity. So you can also experiment. So the more you experiment, the more you will learn by yourself. So now let's come to there is another option that you can give at the start. This is called buy. So what this does is that the buy option, which it tells data is that you take this command that's there after the buy, the list. Here we have a command called list make. So list make means tells data you list the observations in the make variable. And when there is a buy in between, so Stata will takes this command and then it will tell that list this, run this command for observations or by observations in the foreign variable. So let's go ahead and run this. So whenever we're running this, what this will do is that Stata will check that what is the command. Then it will see that what are the values in the foreign variable, and by each of those values, that is by foreign cars, which are like by foreign variable where cars are domestic, it will display the make of those cars. And then by cars that are of foreign make, it will display the make of those cars. So in our dataset, you can see that this it's already sorted. So let's say we want to sort the data. It's already sorted by foreign. So let's say we want to see it by the repair record. So want to see by REP78. It will list the make repair record of the cars. So when we run this, whenever you need to write the by option, the Stata will display an error saying that not sorted, like the data set is not sorted. So whenever we run when we run the previous command by foreign colon list make, this ran without error because you would remember that at the start of the data set, I told you that our data set is already sorted by the foreign variable.
Sir, can you please explain by by option again?
Yeah. So basically what happens is that whenever you write this by option at the start of a command, what you are doing is that you are like telling Stata that you run this command list make for each values of that variable that comes after by. So basically this means like you are going to a cafe and go there with a group of friends, let's say 4 friends, and you see like two of your friends are sitting in each one table each, like two is in one table, two is another. So let's say you go up to the barista to give an order and you tell is that this is my order. So for table 1 I want to order this, for table 2 I want to order this, so please go ahead. So basically the by is a synonym for that. So basically you are telling Stata to run these commands but for each value of the foreign variable. So what's happening is that I will run it again. So when you type by foreign is the make and foreign variables. So what's this happening is that you are telling Stata run the list command for make and foreign variables, but for each value of the foreign variable. So you can see that first the foreign variable, it's domestic. The first value is domestic. So for domestic cars is showing the make and foreign. Then the next value is foreign. So for foreign cars is showing the make and foreign. So it runs that same command for each value of the variable that comes after this by option.
So is it about getting two variables at once?
Yeah. So it's more like getting data for two values of the same variable at once.
So, sir, can we say that we are doing this for categories? Like, if there is data in low, medium, high category, then it will sort it in 3 different categories.
Yeah. So yeah, you are going in the right direction. So if you're like,
Okay.
if your data set is like, if a variable is low, medium, high, you give like, let's say it's a score. So if you give by and score low, medium, high, so it will automatically give the same output for low, medium, and high values.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So sometimes this comes in handy. Like let's say if you want to use the count command and you want to see like how many values are there in each category. So if you go ahead and type the command by foreign and then you give the count variable, so you see that it's showing that for there are in domestic cars there are 52 cars and for foreign cars there are 22. Okay, so now yeah, so whatever's coming into is that. So here we are writing by foreign and count, and you can see that it's running all good, no errors. But let's say I want to see this same, instead of foreign, I want to see the same thing for repair record. So if I type by REP78 list make repair record. So when I type this, this gives an error saying that the dataset is not sorted. So what basically this is that this command has a particular, the by command has a particular like requirement that the data has to be sorted. So in the start when you were running the describe command, you see that I told you that this the last option is important. This shows that the dataset is already sorted by this foreign variable. So what happens is that before running this command, the by command, the dataset needs to be sorted by that variable at first. So since our dataset was already sorted by foreign variable, so the commands that we ran by foreign list make foreign, they ran without any error. But in our case, when you try it for a different variable, the dataset is not sorted. So what we can do is that before running this, let's say we can sort the dataset with the sort command. We simply write sort REP78. Okay. So now we can go ahead and let's say we can check the data description again. You can see that now it says that the dataset is sorted by the REP78 variable. So when you write the sort REP70, it sorts the dataset by that variable and it's now sorted by that. So now when you run the same command, you see that gave an error. So in the history window, whenever a command was unable to run and gave an error, it gets highlighted, like the text gets colored in red. So after running this, the same command that was showing an error earlier, now the same command ran because our data set is sorted by the repair record 78 variable. And now for each repair record, we can see that it displays the data set. Or if you want, you can again, count how many observations are there for each repair record. You count it and you can see that for each repair record, this many observations are there. So now like the requirement is that that data set has to be sorted by that variable. So if you don't want to write the same command, like don't want to write two commands, you're feeling a bit lazy, so you can directly write by sort REP78. And it will run the same, it will do the same thing. Like when you write by sort instead of by, it automatically sorts the dataset by the REP78 variable, and then it lists the variables. So now we need to keep in mind that the dataset is already sorted by the REP78 variable. So now when when maybe you type again the by foreign variable and you type count, you see the same command that ran earlier, now it will give error because the dataset is now sorted by REP78. So every time you sort, you use the by command, you need to be mindful of how you have sorted the data. So this will run when we again type by sort foreign and count. So you see now this command runs. The data is sorted by foreign variable, gives the count in each category. Okay, so that brings us like to the end of this session. And now after all the work you've done, the next thing you want to do is you want to like save this data set. To save this data set, you can either go to file, click on save, and it will ask whether you want to save this same data set. So that's the menu option. You say yes, and the data set will get saved. Or you can just write the save command also. Save command, your dataset name auto.DTA, inverted commas, replace. So when you run this, the save command, you go to your directory, the working directory, you see that the auto.dta dataset has been saved there. Okay, so that brings to the end of the hands-on session. Now I think Rashmi will take over.
Thank you, Rani. It was really briefly you have explained all those. Uh, so this was all about how to deal with the data you have been given and all. So there is also second thing like you have seen this data of system data and all, or the data which you get from any other place. So there is also one thing that you can also create your own data in this data. So rather than relying on other sources, you can yeah, uh, able to you are able to just create your own data set in this data. So the next will be that only. Since it was a very exhaustive session, so I will give you 2 minutes break now. For after 2 minutes, we will come and then just dig into that quickly. Whatever the next thing is coming. So you can just have a break for only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes you have. We will be come back after that.
Hello. Yeah, so yeah, I did the same. I save. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did the same only actually. I went to file and save, and then I even gave this command save auto DTA. Wait, I'll just place it here in the chat box.
Okay. Save auto DTA.
I think, there's an inverted comma missing.
There's an inverted comma missing. There's a
Sorry.
column.
So, yeah, that was the problem. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Now we can start with, the next session. Um, I hope everyone has came now. Okay, then we will proceed now, and the people will join afterwards if they can. So, okay, so till now we have talked about the data, how to deal with the data, how to explore the data, which Ronak has explained you in the first part. The second thing is that data which we were using that time is something data which has come from somewhere or from the system. So there is also one thing that you can also create your own data in this data by entering the data. So before proceeding to that, there are two small terms, three small terms which we always get noticed whenever we are dealing with the software around. Some first thing is data, which is basically the raw piece of information which we get from our sources, being a matrix of observation and variable, which you have also seen in the past session, like we have observation and variables of the data which we put into our system or interface. The second term is usually used as data set. So data set is basically kind of a structured data format in which you basically provide your all information, including that you give a label, you give the formats, and you give all the notes and description into that to organize that particular data. So data set is a rich source of information of the collected data which um, uh, we have gained from any particular source. The third term which has been often been used is variable. So variable is basic. You might also been aware of this, but I want to repeat, like it is a basic characteristic which varies across the observations. So here, like the variable of foreign, which you have seen in the previous session. So it was basically. Okay, so it was basically the foreign variable, which varies across the different observations, as you have seen. So this is the basic terms which have been foundly used in the whenever you deal with the data and all. There are also different terms which I will be explaining further, which have also been pointed out in the chat section also, that I promised to explain it further in this session. Those terms are basically the name of the variable, the label variable, and the type of variable. All these small things which combine, sorry, which combines and makes a Stata full-fledged data information, a full-fledged data set. So for that, the first thing I would like to bring to you is how to enter the data, and then parallelly I will explain what the things you are typing and how the things are going on and how the thing is followed in the future. Okay, so this one, our first step is to enter the data into the Stata interface. So first let us open this data. If anything is open in your Stata environment, then just clear it. Okay, so now as you can see, the first thing we have to enter the data. So where should we enter the data? So usually we have the informations here of we put the data here in the command window, and then we get the information of the variable and the labels. All these things comes here. So where should we put now the data into our Stata interface? So the first thing you have to do is to go here and below the menu tab, there is data editor edit. So as you can see, I'm pointing out towards it, data editor edit. Please click into that data editor edit. I'm showing once again where I have pointed that. Here the pen mark which is showing in the spreadsheet kind of thing, that is data editor edit. Click into that and go into that. So this is our spreadsheet like system in which you are allowed to type your data set manually. You can type manually your data set. So for the time being, since we have constraint of time, here I have we have prepared this data set for you. But for the time being, I will be typing only the first two one, and then when we will share this file to you, then you can do it with yourself at the home to understand what was going on. So for the time being, I am using only the first two observations. So what particular thing is here is going on, the like previously you have seen the data set where it was like, let me show you once. Like since we have at the first session when we were seeing this auto data set, we browsed it and we see that here the variable names were there, and here their observations and information was there. Okay, so right now we have to create that. So here these are basically the variable, and these are the observations and the information of within these variables. So these are basically the variable and these are the information. So right now we will put only the information here while manually editing, and then one by one we will enter, or we mold it by giving the variable name, label name and all. So for the time being, you have to write that. So let me first clear it. And before entering anything, be precise that you should clear your environment, because you are entering a Stata data to put into your environment now. So you have to clear it. So again, we go to this data editor edit. Okay. So right now, I'm typing only the two observations. Please, you can type along with me also. So let me write, say, Maharashtra. Then go to this column, this one. You write MH, then write 4, then write 112.4, 38790. Then again, go to here. Okay. Go to here and then write Uttar Pradesh. Then type UP. Then type 1. Then type 199.8. 22580. So for the time being, we are using only this information, these two rows for further understanding. Please, I will request you to please type it for the time being. Please type it through my interface into your Stata window.
Ma'am, copy.
Is it done?
Rashmi, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
So, since this is a editable window, can we also copy paste it from Excel or from some other source, or it's only typing that we can do here?
No, you can copy paste it. So right now, since you didn't have the information, that's why I was typing for you.
No, I'm just asking.
No, you can copy paste it from. You can just have your particular data, whatever you have. Just copy that and click here and then paste it. Then and the pop up will come that the first. Will you want to keep your first row as a variable? Then you will click yes in that, and then it will be created.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can we upload the data set from Excel or SPSS to Stata?
Yeah, you can do that. That is basically the importing. We will explain you afterwards. This is the manual first thing. This exercise is basically for you to understand that what is label variable, what is format, what is type of variable, and then we will move on to that what you are talking about, the importing of Excel file, SPSS file, and all. Has everyone put the data into your data editor window?
Yes, Ashmi, you can go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I can't able to see
Yeah,
that.
I know. You can go ahead.
Okay. So this was the thing which we have put it, these first two rows basically. So basically the thing is here. So these two rows we have put into. So now this variable var1, var2, var3, var4, var5 is written here. So you can see that we didn't know what is this particular information is giving. So we want to put the information like what is this particular column is telling us about. So we want to use the information of what is var1 and all. And also along with that the different things which are required in this data to have a particular and beautiful data set so that we can deal it with further in the kind of exploration and analysis. So for that you will go to tool and there is variables manager is there. Go to tool and go to variables manager. Click on the variables manager. Okay, so right now you can see your that particular data you have put, but the data var1, var2, var3, and all the information is particular something is provided here. So what are these basically? What kind of these things are? So as you know that the variable contains the information or store the information, a column in which the different information of the in the terms of observations are present. So in that sense, this particular variable will be named now. So that is called the naming of a variable. So there are some rules also. Let me show you. There are also some rules to how to name your variable. So while naming the variable, you should be cautious that it should be short, so you can use it very steadily when typing your commands. Like that particular variable like make, rep 78, foreign. These are the shorter ones, so it is clearer and easy to go with. Also avoid any spaces or the special symbols while using the variable, while creating a variable. The underscores are useful. You can create that. Usually, we use lowercase letters only for creating a variable name because Stata is case sensitive. So we usually use only the small letters to create a variable name rather than giving a capital letter in between. Like here, it will treat this state name and state name, all these things as a two different variables. So whenever, even if you type this somewhere and if you type mistakenly this somewhere, then it will not able to identify it. So because this data language is case sensitive, that's why. So this is the basic rule of creating a variable. apart from variable creation, there is also labeling of a variable. So labeling of variable is kind of giving a description of your variable. So if you draw some variable or some information from your questionnaire, that label is basically the question which has been asked in that particular survey. So these are the name and the label of a variable. So now I will show you here in this screen, the variable manager which we were seeing into. So our first variable was something like this Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh kind of thing. So okay, so these are basically state name. So we can give the variable name as, we will go here. Okay, so since you see it is highlighted, so it is also open. So variable properties are open. So in the here at var1, you will delete it and write state name. This is the name of the variable. So that's why we have given small letters in that, and also underscores are used. The spaces are avoided while creating a variable. Then we will label it. So labeling is kind of giving a description to that particular variable. So this labeling has no limitations. You can write anything. Like I have told you in questionnaire, the questions can also be written here in the label. So here you can write state name. Okay, so this name and label is one thing. Next up, you can see the type here. So what is type? Basically, as let me for the time being, we click apply here, so that we apply what we have done, so that it didn't get closed, it gets saved. So when we click apply here, you will see that the state name and the name of the variable and the label of the variable comes here. So these are the one thing. So please type here the name of the variable, state name, and then label of the variable, state space name. Now I will explain you about these three things which are going here. So the Stata dataset is basically dependent on all these properties only, largely dependent on these properties. So you will be tricking and playing with these forms of name of the variable and all those things in the while using this data. So let me explain this. So the type of variable, basically there are two different types of variables Stata considers, the numeric and the string. So numeric is kind of, as you can understand, it handles the numeric data. Numeric can be stored in different formats like byte, int, long, float, and double. So these are the different formats in which the numeric can be stored into. So among these, the byte, int, and long can hold only the integers kind of information. So the non-decimal, the non-fraction term, like direct 1, 2, 3 or 22, 23 kind of thing, these integers can only be stored when these informations are there, then it will be stored in byte, int, and long form only. When there is decimals, when there is fractions, like income of a particular person, like 22.8 crores and something. So when decimals comes into picture, then the float and the double format works there. So these 5 are the basic formats of numerics: byte, int, long, float, and double. So byte, int, long holds only integers, and float and double store the non-integers numbers. So this float and double is basically what is the difference between them? The basic difference between them is the storing of the memory. So this float and double is basically this double can hold up to 15 to 16 decimal places. Float can hold only 6 to 7 decimal places. So this is the smaller version, and double is the larger version kind of thing. So float can handle only fewer 6 to 7 decimal places. Double can handle up to 15 to 16 decimal places. Similarly, in byte, int, and long, which holds the integers only, they have also difference according to their storage. So the byte is the smaller one, then comes int, and then comes long. So here I have written the specification into which the byte comes into. Suppose some numbers goes from -127 till 100. So it will stored in the byte form. Suppose it is more than 100, something 110 or something, then it will automatically go into the int one. And some numbers are much more larger. So in that case, the long is the storage type in which the data is stored. So these are the type of the variable, which is numeric variable. Okay, so byte is the smaller one, then comes int, and then comes long, and here float is the smaller one, and then comes double. By default, the Stata usually stores the non-integers in the float format, and then comes the string one. So basically, here there are two different types of Stata: numeric and string. Numeric we have studied. Now string comes. The string is basically not referred as the character variable, which permits both the combination of the numbers and characters also. So either it is character or the combination of the numbers and characters. So it will be stored in the as a string variable. String variable can be as short as 1 to wide long as many numbers till up to 2 billion characters. So it is named also accordingly that. If it is short, that it is named as str1. So as you can see that this one is basically this storage, what the particular how much characters are being stored into. And then the largest one comes up to 2 billion characters. So that is called string long, and represented as strl, str capital L, this one. So these are the ways of storing the string. Str hash is stored. This hash is basically the maximum length of that string, how many characters the variable can store. Suppose you give the format of your, the type of your variable as str2, and then under that you write the categories as no and yes. Something the variable is stored as no and yes. So if you are writing str2, then it will only show no. The word yes will not be shown because it has three characters here. So for that you have to give the maximum characters of the categorization of the variable which you have seen. So so these were basically the type of variable, the numeric and the string. Sorry. So next come. So let me show you.
So ma'am, if we want to write for yes, we have to write str_3.
Not underscore. str3.
Okay.
Let me show you once. Okay. So there's no underscore. It is directly str1, str2, str3, kind like of this thing. So if we want to store yes also, so we have to write here 3, str3. So it will store both no and yes. So we have talked about this now, the variable type. Here you can also see str13 is written. So here it will automatically, the Stata will store it in the largest number which they find it in your data set. So here the largest of I think Uttar Pradesh or Maharashtra might be 13. So that's why they have written str13. You can also change it, like you can write str20, then it will change to str20 also. Okay. There's any question or something?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Exactly after str, the number which is written, is it the length of the string that is being displayed?
The number of characters which you will be using for your variable.
Exactly.
Yes, that is the length of your string, the maximum length of your string. Yes, you were correct. Okay. So we see here the type of variable. So we can change it also. We have written 20 and then it changed to 20 here. Okay. Then next come this format one. Let me explain you what is this format is. Yes. Yes, Shrestha, Bharti.
Yeah, I want to ask, since the longest one is L, can we just begin, like, can we just straight away write strl and then it can store as much as we want? Shouldn't that be the default?
No, like you can do that, but something is called memory also. Like here, when you particularly provide something into your data set, like if you have noticed, in whenever you put your data set here, the variable, when you click into the variable, here the properties will come. Here the properties will come, and along with that the memory will also come. So the thing is that when you are storing into larger term, then the more memory will be used by the particular data set in the variable. So if you're dealing with a short data, then it's not a problem, but when you're dealing with a larger set of data, then it might slow down your process while writing the codes and all. That's why we write the exact something, exact string and all. And most likely these string are obviously provided by the Stata. You have to just if it is just for your clarity, or when you are typing, or when you want to understand what this str something means, then that whenever you are typing high in the Stata, it already gives, like here the 13 was given, it was already had scanned the Maharashtra and the Uttar Pradesh name and provided accordingly that. So
Okay.
that's why.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, this was the thing. The next was the format. This format, what is this format is going on. So basically this format also depends on the type of the variable. So that S was basically meaning the string one, and the thing is we will, for the string it will show S. Let me show you. For the string it will show S. So here this is also a string, so it is showing S. For these three were the numbers, so it was showing G for there. Okay, so let me explain you what this particular percentage 20S and something is showing you here. So suppose it was written percentage 8.0G something. So this is basically the default format I have given for your reference. So this is the default format of all the data of all the variable types. We will look into what is these particular terms are saying into. So this particular percentage is showing that we are formatting our variable. So it is a format specification, that is starting of a format specification. The 8, like here percentage 8.0G. So here 8 is basically telling about displaying the characters which we were talking about, the length. The total length which we were talking about, that 8, it includes all the spaces and all those things come into that. So after 8 it is 0.0. 0.0 is basically denoting the decimals. So here 0 denotes that there is 0 digits after the decimal point. So there is no decimals here. Let's look into this data. Here also the things were going into that way. We have not given the particular variable. The second thing, G comes into. So for string S will come, for G is basically for the numeric. Whenever you run in the Excel and something, whenever you format your numbers, the general number format is usually seen here. The scientific notation and all those things come into. So this G is basically denoting that it is showing a general number format. So this is the basic meaning of what this particular format is saying into. So okay, so these are the things. The format is okay.
And
We
can you
have,
please
yeah.
explain the first point
Which one?
from the percentage to the
Yeah.
G?
Okay, so this basically what was written on the screen was percentage 8.0G. So this percentage means we are giving format specification. It is the it is saying whenever you type the code, so then you have to notify that what you are doing into. Then you writing the percentage will notify the Stata that you are now starting your format specification. Then writing 8 means the total characters which will be used for that particular category of the variable. So it also includes the spaces and scientific notations and symbols. Point 0 is basically defining that you are this is basically denoting the number of decimal places to and here it is showing 0, that it will display 0 decimal points, 0 digits after decimal points. And G is basically the general number format. There are different number formats. You can also see in the Excel sheet and all, whenever you format your numbers in the decimal format, in general format or something. So this G is denoting that it is a general number format, the general format which we handily use every time. So this is the meaning of this particular format which is telling it to. So next up thing was we have Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. Next was variable was okay, we will name it. So first one was Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. State names as a state name as a variable name, and the labeling variable is both are given into. So this is the type and this is the format. Okay, this is done for that. The next one, yeah, hello, anyone? Okay. Okay, the next one was the MH and UP. Okay, these are also kind of our denoting the state code or something. So for that we will write here, we will highlight variable 2, and then for that we will write the variable name and the label of that variable. So suppose we will write state code here, and that label the variable as state code. Okay, let it be up to string 2. It is okay with that, and then we will apply it. Okay, for the time being we have information of this variable 3. 4.1 is given, variable 4, variable 5. Okay, so what was these variable 3, 4, 5? It was basically our this was the reason, and this was the population size, and this was the GDP. Okay, these are the dummy tables. So for the reason, for the we will select this and then write it reason, write reason in country. Here one more thing you will notice that here it was basically the reason 4, 1, 2, 3 was given. Okay, so that is basically the numbers which has been provided as a raw information. Now we want to value label them. Value label is something like, for this 1, 2, 3, 4, we want to name them. We want to give a label to these categories of the variable. So for doing this here, please remember that 1, 2, 3, 4 means north, south, east, west. So now remembering that, we will apply this. The type is done, the format is done, because float, because 1, 2, 3, 4 format is still applied there. Now we will value the label. We will basically label the categories. So we will click here at manage, create label, and then we will name that particular since it was a reason, so we can write something like reg something, and then we will label it. So not add to south, add 3 east, add 4 west, add. So okay, we have included our labels. These 1, 2, 3, 4, which was in the data set, this 4 and 1, we are basically labeling them. What are particularly this 4 and 1 telling us? So we will put this in the value and label, and then okay. Then we will close it. Okay. So again, we will go here. Then that particularly value label which we have created is showing here. So we will click reg. So and we will apply it. Now it has been changed to this reg form. Okay. This value label has been value labeled now. Okay. So for the time being, I'm just showing off these 3 variables only. Let it be. We will name it afterwards, or you can try it at your home. These two variables name. Similarly, by giving the name and the label of the variable, the next 2 are the numerics. So you don't have to give the value label. So okay. So this is the thing which we have put into our interface. The data we have put the variable name, label, the type we have which was mentioned, and the format which we have talked about. Value label we have given that 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we will look here in the data. You can see now in reason their west and north are written. Previously it was showing 4 and 1. Now the west and north are showing into. If you will click here, west, here the number which is allotted to that is also shown here. North 1 is showing here. Now we will go to the data. Okay, so previously it was showing where 1, where 2, where 3, where 4, where 5. Now we have, since we have created this, it is showing right now here all those information which we have created into. And the next thing is that suppose one thing you will also notice that all the things which we have done through that entering the data into the interface is also being written here as the command. See, here we have renamed the variable 1 as a state name. We have recast state name as string 20. Previously it was string 13. We have recast it to string 20. We have label the variable, which was basically naming the what that particular variable 2 was telling into, and then we have also label defined. This is for that value label which we have created for the reason 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the thing. So now when you go for, suppose these are the codes which are generated, which you can also take out from the history. But the thing is, you have to create it by writing the commands and all. So suppose we want to again rename this state code. So suppose we want to rename it. So we type rename. The state code is here. So clicking here once will bring it here. Okay. So clicking here once will bring it here. Suppose we want to name it only code. So rename the previous one name and this the new one name. Click it. Then here you will see code has come. So this is kind of renaming the variable. So the next session, the tomorrow session will start. We will be going with this flow only, like how to generate the variable, rename the variable, the label variable, the label defined, and label values. Whatever thing we have done it manually here, we will do it then by command tomorrow. So I hope that all the things were clear to you. We will share you all the things which all these contents to you, so you can understand with yourself also. And please also try this particular total all this whole table with yourself only at home. Apart from that, below this we have also given an assignment to you. So this is self-explanatory. You can look into that. This is basically talking about first whatever you have done all through these 2 days. You will go through these questions. Here also you have to do a manual entering of your data. You will create your own data and then work on that. So these are the structure of that data, and the data is also provided here. So please go through these questions, and please try to incorporate the all the these assignments, so that it will be helpful for you afterwards to understand all the things which we were talking about in these 2 days. So that these assignments are basically will give you a refresh all your codes and all those things which you have learned till now. It will help you in that. So I think that's it for today from my side. Ronak, do you want to include in something, or is there any?
No, Rashmi, I think we have discussed everything. There was a raised hand for Mr. Prathamesh Damle, but yeah, I think it's not there. I think so. Yeah, I think we're good for today. We'll
Yeah,
meet
I
again
just
tomorrow.
wanted to ask Shantanu if you got an answer for the Mac version.
Shrestha, I actually tried, but I couldn't get a cracked version for the Mac one. I'm still trying. We'll try to resolve that as soon as possible and let you know.
All right, thank you.
So that wraps our today's session.
Yeah.
It was quite a stretched session, but I hope that you had a good learning experience today. We'll meet again tomorrow at 6:30. One request that I have to do is, if anyone has still not joined the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group, so you are updated with all the regular stuff that is going, whether it be the recorded session or the data which is being shared. That's all from my side. Have a great night ahead. Thank you guys. You can leave the meeting now.
Okay, thank you.